Hi quilting friends, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window and welcome to our classroom. I'm so happy you are here today. It's a little bit tough to just imagine that we only have 2 more classes and I'm not get to tune in every day to visit with you. Oh, I'm gonna be so sad, but I am gonna be very proud of you when you finish all 12 days because then I'm going to know that I have shared with you so many fun quilting lessons, and today's lesson is super special to me. I love 8-point star, and today 8-point star is so much fun. No wide seams, but I want to open your mind on how to press your 8-point stars. So we're gonna do two kind of pressing. Make sure you watch the whole video before you start your block because maybe you want to choose one pressing over the other. So stay tuned and let's start it. Now for anybody that is just joining us in, don't be sad. You can go ahead, visit our website, go to our blogs and start your classes right now. Catch up and you still can maybe graduate with us in 2 days. You never know. You maybe have to stay up day and night to finish your blocks, but I'm super excited for you. If you wanted to, you can take this course anytime in your leisure, in your time. So don't feel pressure, don't stress. We have kits on our website that are completely pre-cut for you. They're so fun, so easy to use it. We have also scrappy kits. They're almost sold out, but if you want it, go check. Maybe there's still 1 or 2 left for you guys. And make sure you get this wonderful pattern called Valley Range. This pattern is our foundation of cutting and everything that we needed for the 12 classes that we have took. So I hope we have 2 more classes. I hope you join us even if it's a little bit late. I have pulled our block today. We're gonna be working on a block number 7 and this is our 10th day of our classes. I am so proud of you guys. I'm gonna put this to the side and I want to review with you some cutting. Right, first class that we took, I showed you how to cut half square triangles, squares, strips, and I told you about it that most of the shapes start with a strip. I already cut my practice strip right here. I want to show you how to cut a diamond. When you can cut a 1 3/4 inch strip, the pre-cut kits have everything cut, but my scrappy girls and guys, they're cutting their own fabric. So you're gonna be cutting a 1 3/4 inch strip. Then you're gonna go ahead and take this ruler and you're gonna place it right over your fabric. You're gonna begin by trimming the edge right here, just like this. You're gonna trim it right here. The important thing is that you match the 45-degree line with the bottom edge of your fabric. So when you cut it, you have 45-degree diamond. Now all that you need to do is shift your ruler down to the mark of 1 3/4. Let me show you. 1 3/4 from here to here, not here. You want to measure the width of your diamond, just like the width of your strip, the width of your diamond. So we have a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, plus another 1/4 is 1 3/4, and I'm gonna position myself on this side now so I can be cutting right here, and I'm gonna cut a nice diamond. I'm gonna cut 1 2 3. We need 4 of the same color for 1 star in a light color and 4 in a dark color. In our kit we have a beautiful purple, and just wait 1 second, I'm gonna show you our scrappy one. So keep going, keep cutting. You will be cutting from the scrappy fabrics like this, cutting the diamonds. If you wanted to, I have a video just on 8-point star. I want to show you the beautiful color options that we have. This is our fabric for the scrappy one. We have this gorgeous purple with a beautiful polka dot on it, accent by this burgundy with pink and gold on it that I think looks so nice together. I think you're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be super fun. And we have the traditional one, the twinkle one, that it's pre-cut with light purple and dark purple. So those are the two color options that we have. Like I said, this is pre-cut. This one you cut it. Anybody that have the kit that decide on the scrappy kit or our kit, we have those kits on our website like I told you guys about it. Look at, they're beautiful, and you're cutting your own fabric. Remember, you are following the cutting chart right there. You're gonna be cutting for those diamonds. Let me put this on that page. Oh, there it is right here. For the diamonds, you're gonna be cutting a long strips width of fabric 1 3/4, and from every strip you should get 12 diamonds. Be frugal and cut them. Now, for anybody that have a hard time cutting diamonds, I want to help you just tiny bit. We have the cutest 8-point star 6-inch templates on our website, and you can take the diamond out of this template set. And with this diamond, you don't even have to measure the 1 3/4. You just take this template, place it on your strip, and you start cutting, and then you can mark the points, sewing points on it. I love those 8-point star templates. And coincident, we have a generic 6-inch finish block. So you maybe wanted to do those. The only difference is the other pieces, the square and a triangle, are for regular Y seams, where we are not going to be doing Y seams. We are doing half square triangles, and we're going to be doing something different for the technique. So let's back into our block. Once you have it cut, now what you're going to be making is units like this, okay? Units like this. And I wanted to talk to you about different way of pressing. We're gonna go first and go over traditional pressing in one direction's the seam allowance. The second pressing, we're gonna press the seam open. I have both options done, and I want you to compare, and I really would love you to try both, feel it, touch it, and decide which one works for you the best. And you know, sometimes you choose, depends how you want to quilt the quilt. So if you're prepping the quilt that you're gonna stitch in a ditch, you're probably gonna wanna push in one direction. But if you want the quilt to be more flat, you maybe wanna open the seams. In this case, our block is not matching with other seams, and it's not gonna be locking the seams with other blocks. Notice it. It's going next to our 9 patch, but the points are further away, so it's not locking with the other blocks, so we do not have to worry about locking the seams, all right? So for this block, you can open all the seams if you would like to. We're gonna be making 12 blocks, and I made just now my sample for you to see in video. I'm gonna be choosing to which way I'm gonna go. I'm curious which way you are going to push your seam allowance. All right, let's start with our first diamond. You're going to take your diamond, place and make sure you have your directions in front of you, because you have a left side and a right side. So make sure you have the direction so you don't accidentally sew something on the wrong side. We're gonna start with a purple, light purple, and I'm gonna take a smaller half square triangle, and I'm gonna place it right sides together, just like this. I'm gonna go ahead and place the pin right through the middle. I'm gonna stitch. I'm gonna start from here, stitch up to the point. Yes, I like to do it this way, or you can flip it this way and stitch it if you would like to. You just need it. I don't want you to start from this point, because I do not want this to get into the bottom of your sewing machine, and there is so much bias here. I'm worried about the stretching. So actually you can't go this way. You have to flip this and sew from here straight down, okay? As soon as you finish, you're gonna flip it open and you're gonna push your seam allowance towards the background. On your light purple, we're gonna be pushing seam allowances towards the background, okay? Finish this one, flip it open, then the next you're going to take this triangle, position right here, match it perfectly, stitch, and flip it open. I have one done. Look at this right there. I position it, finish. You're gonna be sewing this one again from the pivot point straight down to here. Make sure you have a pin in the middle, holding this in place so nothing is pulling and pushing and shifting. And you're gonna make units like this. You need one of them for a quarter of the block. You need 4 of them for one full block. So repeat 4 times so you can make one practice block with me, okay? Purple now. Now the purple is the opposite. I have a diamond right here. I'm gonna take my small triangle and I'm gonna place it on the opposite side. I'm gonna start stitching from here straight up. I'm gonna flip it open. Then I'm gonna go ahead and finish by sewing the bigger triangle on this side. Always match the top beautifully and stitch. Let me show you. Do you see how I matched? There is a 1/4 inch. I'm gonna be sewing it. You can start from here straight down, or you can flip this and sew this way. I like starting from this end because that way my seam allowance is laying down and I didn't flip that seam allowance, because sometimes when you come towards it, it has tendency to do that. So we don't want that. We want to start from the top and sew straight down. And this time, I just want to remind you that you're gonna push the seam allowances opposite what you did here. So I push my seam allowances towards the diamond on this one. I push towards the background on this one. Why do I do that? Because I want my seams to lock, and I'm gonna do a lot of finger pressing. I'm so wary about putting an iron against this because it stretches. The second you place that iron, it wants to stretch. So look at, I'm gonna make a really nice unit, and now we're gonna be sewing this to this. And notice this. Since the seam allowance is pushed in opposite direction, when I place the pieces right sides together, they nest so beautifully. Look at this. It is so nice to match it, and it's easy. And I can put a pin right there and make sure right below the stitch line, okay, just below my seam nests, and I'm putting the pin below because as the machine is coming here, it's pushing my fabric and it nests even better. Once you finish, now notice this, I finish, I'm gonna open this. Before I open, I like to trim this little bunny ear right there, okay? Now I have my 1/4 of the block done. I need to do this 4 more times, so I have 4 of them for one block. As soon as I finish, I know this part of the unit needs to be 3.5 by 3.5. I'm gonna take my ruler, and I love to check how did I do it. And especially there is bias edges. A lot of times things like to stretch, and I'm gonna go ahead and place my ruler. Oops, this is better. I like to have this corner where there is the half an inch. So what I love to do is there's 3.5, 3.5. I'm gonna first worry about position my line right on the seam, okay? This is important because this is the only time that you can square things up, that you get a beautiful block and you don't have the middle bubble up or bubble down and all these other things that maybe you get across. So pay attention to this. You're gonna lay your ruler line on the middle seam right there. You're gonna make sure that this line right here, 1.5 from the edge and 1.5 on the edge, is laying on the diamond seam right here and right here. Do you see this? That this point crossing is right at the Y seam right there between the diamonds. Now notice I have a tiny bit of extra fabric that it did stretch. So guess what? Now is the time, and I can see I have little extra here and here. So that tells me that I use really nice, beautiful 1/4 inch seam allowance, but the fabric may be stretched a little bit. I push and pull, and now I get a chance to perfectly trim it. Look at now my point from my diamonds. That is gonna be a pleasure to sew with. And now I'm just rotating it. I'm matching up my ruler back with 3.5 by 3.5. I'm double checking that all my lines are matching still. And this time it's very important that a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch is right here. So points of my diamonds have plenty of room when the block is finished. And look at how nice everything lays, and I can go ahead and trim this. I can make hundreds of them now, because once you make this unit, guess what happened? It is like sewing a 4 patches. 1 patch, 2nd patch, 3rd, and a 4th. And coincident, I have some ready for you guys. Look at this. You need 4 of them for one beautiful star. And now this is easy. You sew this to this, this to this, and sew it together, making sure that you're pushing the seam allowances in the same direction. And let me show you how. And notice again, when I take those 2 blocks, the 2 units, they're perfectly 3.5 by 3.5, and I place them together because I have pushed the seam allowances on opposite direction, always on a dark towards the diamonds, always on a light diamonds towards the background. Okay, now it's so easy. Look at how nice everything looks. Look at this. I just put it together and I can go ahead and sew. I like to always start sewing from the center out, okay? Because the center is the most important for me. I don't want to start sewing here and something shift. I want to ensure that my center is as beautiful as I possibly can. So I'm going to start stitching from here straight out, making sure that this is locking and holding up nice. I'm going to pin it behind the seam, so that way when I come up, I stitch it, nothing shifts and move. I'm going to finish. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Match it up, start from the center, stitch, and now I have 2 beautiful halves of the block, and all I need to do is push my seam allowance towards the same direction that this seam is right here. Just keep rotating this seam, and next I'm gonna put those 2 together, match it up in the middle first, pin it, and if you wanna, you can start from this X marks the spot right there. Do you see the threads? The threads making a little X where I can start sewing from here straight out and finish by taking that same stitch and going out this way. If you pin it enough, you can sew from here down. I sometimes worry when I sew coming against the seam, it likes to give me a trouble, so I like to start in a center. As soon as you finish, look at this, this was half to half, you're gonna open it up, open the seam in the back, open those little threads to get a great little spin. Now I forgot to trim those little bunny ears. I'm gonna do it now in front of you. I should have done them right away when I sewed those 1/4 units, but I must have forgot it. But guess what? I did it now. Now I have a beautiful block. So this is the number 1 way that you can make this star. Benefits: the seams are locking like you wouldn't believe it. Beautiful. But I noticed we have little bit bulk when you go into the points, when you go into this transition areas right here. So let's see how we can do this without so much bulk. So this would be the second way to do it. When we sewing our triangles, we are opening every seam. every seam will be open, and that way this seam is open, and now when you touch this, it lays nice and flat. So this is something I want you to try, even if you make 2/4 units, just like this. Feel it, touch it, decide, because from now on, the lessons in quilting will be we learn, we practice, we explore. You are on your own. You can do it. I believe in you. I know you can do it, and it will open the door on any 8-point star for you. But you have to choose it for yourself. Is it more important that your seams are locking for you, or is it more important that your block is nice and flat? Look at this. I have all of those units where I open all the seams. This one needs to be trimmed. I just want to show you the little bunny ears. How do I trim it? Exact the same that I trimmed the other one. I put my ruler, I place it right in the center. Most important, I measured it up. 1.5 and 1.5. Where did the 1.5 come from? The diamonds were 1 3/4. We took a 1/4 inch into the seam, so it should be 1.5 left. So that way I can place this ruler right there, and a little bit more, rotate this way. I didn't do as good job as I could. All right, and now all that I need to do is trim. Look at how tiny bit, but just enough that maybe if you have 4 of those, now you have that bubble in the middle of your 8-point star. So this is a perfect time to trim it and avoid any confusion and any problems in the center. This may be your favorite 8-point star, and you can translate this technique to any sizes of 8-point star. And look at 3.5 by 3.5. This time I'm looking at the 1/4 inch lines because I'm paying attention where my points on the star. That is the important point right there, that we have enough room that when we sew this block into the quilt, we don't lose our beautiful work. And look at this. I'm gonna trim and trim, and now I have a perfect 1/4 of the block, and that 1/4 can go into my block. But now can we check how this is gonna work together? We place it right sides together, and guess what? We match the seams perfectly. Pin it and stitch it. No locking, but the seams are matching so nice. This may be a way to go. I cannot wait to see your blocks, and I am so looking forward to see you explore. You don't always have to follow other people's technique. You have the chance to choose and make your own quilting journey. Now I have taught you how to make a basic block, grew on it by breaking the units into smaller units, then venture to half square triangle, 1/4 square triangle, make a left and a right block to create a beautiful mirror image designs. We add a handle to the basket, and I open your eyes on some applique. But once again, let's see how you like those 8-point star, and just by changing the pressing, you're making this block your own. And maybe with practicing, you can figure it out. This works better for me than this. I can't wait to hear about it. I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow for our center block. It's gonna be amazing. It's a feather star block. And then one more day, and we're gonna be making the borders. With the borders, I have something fun to learn too. Looks simple, but it's gonna be fun to learn how to adjust your seams and create something fun. Happy quilting, and I look forward to thumbs up, your comments, and make sure you share this video with any friends you would like. It's a basic 8-point star that I think you would enjoy it very much. Happy quilting!